न भूमिर्न तोयं न तेजो न वायुः न खं नेन्द्रियं वा न तेषां समूहः अनैकान्तिकत्वात् सुषुप्त्येकसिद्धः तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम् तदेको वशिष्ठः शिवः केवलोऽहम्।
त्वत्पादाम्बुजमर्चयामि परमं त्वां चिन्तयाम्यन्वहम् त्वामीशं शरणं व्रजामि वचसा त्वामेव याचे विभो वीक्षां मे दिश चक्षुषीं सकरुणां दिव्यैः शिरं प्रार्थितां शम्भो लोकगुरो मदीयमनसः सौख्योपदेशं कुरु चन्द्रोद्भासितशेखरे स्मरहरे गङ्गाधरे शङ्करे सर्पैर्भूषितकर्णकण्ठकुहरे नेत्रोत्तवैश्वानरे दन्तित्वकृतसुन्दराम्बरधरे त्रैलोक्यसारे हरे मोक्षार्थं कुरु चित्तवृत्तिम् अमलाम् अन्यैस्तु किं कर्मभिः हे चन्द्रचूडमदनान्तकशूलपाणे स्थाणो गिरीशगिरिजेश महेश शम्भो भूतेश भीतभयसूतनमाम् अनाथं संसारदुःखगहना जगतीश रक्ष। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं भवयेव भवानिति मे नितरां समजायत चेतसि कौतुकितां मम वारय मोहमहाजलधिं भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणम्। जगतीं अवितुं कलिता कृतयः विचरन्ति महामहसश्चलतः अहिमांशुरिवत्र विभासि कुरु भवशङ्करदेशिक मे शरणम्। अपार सच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयम्। In our Chaturmasya Swadhyaya Yajna, today we are contemplating on Sankaracharya's life and teachings. Now, through the land of Acharya's divine story, now we are in Kerala, in Kaladi. It's not the beginning, it is almost the conclusion. So again, second time, Acharya has come to Kaladi, and we saw a very divine act of such a great illumined being that is giving liberation to his mother. And after that, Sureshwaracharya and all other disciples from Sringeri, they also followed the suit and they reached Acharya. Kaladi. This is the position where we are. And now the king, the local king, Rajashekara, he had a former connection with Shankara. That we didn't tell at that time. When Shankara was only 7 or 8 years old, before going to see Govinda Bhagavatpada, then itself he became very well known as a astounding intellect, scholar. It was to that extent that the king himself came to see him in his house when he was a child. Then he came and had a conversation with the boy. And after that, he also showed a drama written by him. Of course, in Sanskritam, a good drama composed by him. He asked Shankara to go through it. So Shankara went through it and suggested some corrections, etc., and gave it back to him. So now, that was when he was 7 years old. Now perhaps he is 25 or 26, or that must be his age now, when he has come back. So this king Rajashekara, he again came to see Acharya. And now Acharya is a very well known Acharya, a great teacher. All over Bharata Desha he is worshipped, and so many mighty scholars are under him as disciples. So with all of them, with the full retinue, he is shining like a splendorous sun. So this king with all humility came there, did a pada puja to the sannyasi, worshipped him, and did a namaskara, and they had a conversation. After formal conversations, Acharya asked him about the drama which he saw when he was only a boy. The king said, "Oh, that is great that you are still remembering it." Now the king is old. He said, "Unfortunately, the library in the palace got fire, and what I wrote was lost in it. So I could not retrieve the memory. Now it is lost. Otherwise I could have again brought it to you." Acharya said, "Do you have anybody to write, a scribe?" "Yes." "Then ask him to write, 'I remember whatever you told me.'" So for the sake of king, whatever he wrote, Shankara told, and that scribe, that phenomenal thing which came out, he just narrated the whole drama as the king wrote it 26 years back, or about 20 years back, or 18, 19 years back. That entire thing, he said, take it down. See, this kind of phenomenal thing, many great Mahatmas had. Swami Vivekananda had, when he was not keeping well in Belur Math. One of his disciples, Sharatchandra Chakrabarti, to him, he revealed this. He was going through this Encyclopedia Britannica. So many volumes, full library. So, who can remember all these things? Swamiji said, so many volumes I have read. From wherever you want, you ask me something. He just casually opened one page and asked him a question. Exact verbatim, the sentence Swami quoted and told him, this is it. Look, is it there? So this is all Ishvara Datta, bestowed by God for that work. So Bhagavad-pada made him write that drama. So the king was astonished. Then they had a conversation, and the king said, now I am not interested in anything. The kingdom, ruling, everything is given to the prince. Now I want the spiritual knowledge. So Lord, please enlighten me. And Acharya said, whatever you want to ask, ask. The king sat down with Acharya's permission. He asked many questions about how to do bhakti sadhana, yoga sadhana, jnana sadhana, everything he asked. First he asked, are householders eligible for knowledge? Can family people, grihasthas, attempt to know the self? Is it possible for them? So much of things, work to do, distractions. Bhagavad-pada said, Sarvashraminam jnane adhikaraha. All ashramis, all who are human beings, they can realize. Bhagavan, the same question when put to Bhagavan, Bhagavan said, the self is same to all. When you know the self, you are neither a grihastha nor a brahmachari nor a sannyasi. Naham manushyo na cha deva yaksho na brahmana kshatriya vaishya shudraha na brahmachari na grihi vanastaha bhikshur na chaham nijabodha rupaha. I am that pure awareness. I am not a brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha or sannyasi. I am not a brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya or shudra. I am not this body. I am the pure self. This is the knowledge of the self. So, any ashramas can attempt to know the self and know the self, provided they have the prerequisites. The chief qualification to acquire knowledge is an earnest desire for it, mumukshutva. That longing for liberation. You know, you should feel as if your head is on fire. Suppose there is fire in your head or in your body. Will you wait till the satsanga is over? You will rush in seeking water. Like that, when you feel the need for that higher knowledge, when you feel that you cannot rest without God realization or self-realization, you need that shanti. When that thirst is very deep, then that spiritual restlessness sets in. So whoever have got it, they will attain realization. Then the king is also a very scholarly person. He said, I have heard that according to you, one must be a sannyasi to gain jnana. By the time he has already heard about Bhagavad-pada. Acharya said, Shastras declare jnanam sannyasa lakshanam. Jnanam is the distinguishing mark of sannyasa. And also, one who walks in bright light will not fall into a ditch like the one who walks in darkness. In the same way, a jnani cannot involve himself in the miserable worldly life as an ignorant one does. This is our standpoint. Thus, Paramahamsa Dharma is certainly more favorable to attain realization. Yes, kings like Janaka, Ambarisha and Rishabha were all jnanis. Similarly, royal priests like Vasishta, women like Gargi and Sulabha and Vidura who belonged to the fourth class were all jnanis. It has the seal of the Shastras, and it has been our own experience also that if one has dispassion and proficiency in Atma Vichara, he will attain knowledge of the self here and now, whether he be a Brahmin, an outcast, a householder, or celibate. Whoever has known through experience is a sannyasi. Even if externally renounces everything and becomes a mendicant. Etam vaitam atmanam viditva brahmanaha putreshanayasya vitteshanayasya lokeshanayasya vyuttaya atha bhikshacharyam charanti. Knowing this self, the intelligent person renounces his attachment to family, wealth and society and moves about freely as a bhikshu. But as mentioned earlier, a jnani is one who has transcended all rules and regulations. The awareness that he is the Atman never leaves him. Thus, Acharya gave Upadesha to him. It's a long Upadesha, you can read in Atmatirtham. The conclusion is, the king said, because he felt so peaceful in Acharya's presence. Many used to feel like that in Bhagavan's presence. It's very peaceful. We don't want to go back to our place. One person said, he came from America. He told Bhagavan, it is so peaceful, I don't want to go back. If I go back, it is all thoughts starts happening, mind is chaotic. Bhagavan said, you stay here for 2 more weeks, the same mind will come here also. After some time, the mind will start operating. When it becomes familiar, it will start working here also. So wherever you are, you have to tackle yourself. You have to see what stuff with which you are made of and deal with that. The body, the mind, the senses, the vasanas, all this you have to transcend. Lord, I am blessed by your presence and by your teaching. How peaceful is this presence? The lake of my heart is filled to the brim with the cool waters of peace. Please bless that it will continue even after I go away from here. Bhagavad-pada said, this peace will not leave you. May Atma Vichara continue in you till perfect repose in Brahman. Brahma Vishranti Paryantaha Vicharaha Astu Tavanagha. Acharya said, O sinful one, sinless one. This is the slip, no? If the person is a sinful one, Vichara will not happen. That is the contrast thing. If the person is sinful, what is sin? It will not allow Vichara to happen. Nothing else. Papam dahadi panditaha. All our sadhana, japa, dhyana, pranava japa, pranayama, selfless action, motiveless action, all these purify our mind and cleanse the sins. The sins are that clog our ears. They will not make us listen. They will not make us do even one nama japa or to speak about. See, Bhagavan wanted to speak something about sin. That is why he created that. Because what is sin? Sin is the obstacle for God realization. Right? Tapasa dagdhapapasya. As Bhagavan says in Ramana Gita, due to tapas, papa is all burnt. And papa is the obstacle in the mind and the intellect also. The intellect is not pure enough to grasp this truth, this redeeming knowledge. The mind is not ready to accept the higher life. Even if it is available right before you, you are not ready to participate. That stumbling block is sin. What to do? So, papam dahati panditaha. A true devotee, he purifies himself, he removes the papam, sin, from his body, from mind, from his intellect. So when that sin is cleansed, the person is able to listen. So, Bhagavad-pada said, Brahma Vishranti Paryantaha Vicharaha Astu. The best blessing that a guru can give is till your mind takes repose in the self, in Brahman. Do Atma Vichara. As the king was leaving, Acharya inquired, then the whole story that we have already told. About that drama. So, after this incident, Padmapada, the favorite disciple of Sankaracharya, who left Sankaracharya when he was in Sringagiri. Where did he go? Tirtha-yātra to Rameswaram he went. He went to Rameswaram. While in the way he met many people, he also did a Digvijaya. On the way he giving Upadesha, the mission continued. He went away from Sankaracharya because, even in a spiritual cluster, some misunderstanding, sometimes we will misunderstand good people also. All these problems can occur. When Sankaracharya asked Sureshwaracharya to write a Vartika for Brahma Sutra Bhashya, Padmapada had a small doubt because Sureshwara was a very strong advocate of Karma Marga, Mimamsa before. So, if he writes, he might bring in some of that theory into it. So, he was afraid that this good work might get corrupted. He had a small doubt about it. When Acharya found that Padmapada has this doubt, he told Sureshwara to write an independent work. So he wrote Naishkarmya Siddhi. When Padmapada read that book, he felt very bad that he thought about him like this. So he did Namaskara to Sureshwara, he did Namaskara to Bhagavad-pada and said, my mind is not all right. I should not have thought like that. So I feel very bad that I will go, keep away, go and do some time of Ritambara Dhyāna, Ratma Dhyāna. I will meditate on the truth and come back. See, this is the method, When the knower of Brahman, due to some prarabdha, some pain comes, what does he do? Generally, in the karma marga, if some mistake has occurred, they will have this prayaschitta. Prayaschitta English le na chalva. Repenting and atonement. So for that, this prayaschitta karma, you have to bath thrice and do this japa like that. So Vidyaranya Swami says, in the same way, the person has to do prayaschitta by Atma Vichara only. Some mistake has occurred. So do again go to that state where the I thought does not arise. Remove the ahankara. Kimaham papamakaram. Kimaham sadhunakaravam. Kimaham papamakaram. I did this sin. Why I did not do a good thing? Something like that comes in the mind. Remove that by samadhi and never again go back to that path. So take a dip in the waters of self-knowledge again and purify yourself, purify your mind. For that, he took a travel. But Bhagavad-pada said, time is not good. Do not go. See, even if such a great guru tells, if the disciple's prarabdha's force is very much, he will go away. Bhagavan had one of the very favorite attendants, Madhava Swami. He was very close to Bhagavan and he was one of the cleanest person. He also had this trouble. He wanted to go away. In the presence of Bhagavan, he felt very bad. His mind was terrible. Then he told Bhagavan, I am going. Bhagavan said, don't go. But he went away. And after some time, he came back mentally imbalanced. So this is the force of prarabdha. What to do? This prarabdha is very powerful. Prarabdham balavattaram cha vidusham bhogena tasya kshayaha. This prarabdha is very forceful. Even for a knower it is forceful, and that has to be gone through. So this Padmapada went away. On the way he had some trouble. Some people who were against this mission, they gave him poison. I am not going deep into the story. And that didn't, of course, kill him, but it affected his memory. He forgot everything. And the disciple who was following him somehow took care of him and brought him back to Bhagavad-pada in Kaladi. So here he was coming in a different manner. Not the Padmapada who went away. Now coming back, sometimes crying, sometimes laughing. So Vishnudatta and Padmapada, they both came. Acharya understood that something inauspicious had happened. Padmapada walked slowly and offered obeisance at Acharya's feet. Acharya's heart melted on seeing his copper-tinted hair and beard and reddish eyes and emaciated body. Acharya asked, "Dear child, what happened to you? Why this pitiable plight?" Kim abhut tava? Hey Saumya, what happened to you? With tear-filled eyes, Padmapada mumbled, "Tvameva matasi pita tvameva." You are my mother and father. Karunya sindho. Just like that, he start saying like some insane. The disciple who followed Padmapada, he was a good, very intelligent, very clever person. He took care of him very well. Acharya said, "Padmapada, do not worry. Very soon you will regain your lost memory. All this is part of your destiny. No one is responsible for this. The effect of karma is experienced and gone. Brahmajnana can never be destroyed. Once the Brahmajnana arises, it can never be destroyed. Just as fire destroys a heap of cotton, the fire of knowledge will destroy all karma." And Padmapada wrote one book that also got lost on the way. Brahma Sutra, or Tika, like Panchapadika. Scholars have various opinion about that. Anyway, we are following the story. So Bhagavad-pada said, don't bother about book, because book is not Shashvatam like Brahman. People are attached to book, they are writing, all these things. Everything will get lost. Nothing is Shashvata, Nitya. So Bhagavad-pada said, don't think anything is Shashvata. Even Vedas disappear and again appear. So why bother about this? Anyway, what you wrote and read to me, I remember. I will tell you, take it down. Saying this, Bhagavad-pada himself told, and it was written, all granthas are mere granthis. All books are knots. Know that this incident has happened as an act of grace by Lord to free you from desire to write books also. Shastra Vasana. So, do Atma Vichara. Keep your mind reposed in yourself. Be still. Don't identify with the body or the mind or the intellect. You are infinite, pure like the space, Akasha, the cloudless space. Don't ever identify with the Jiva Bhava. May the self-power, may the power of the self be awakened in you. The body was shattered. All diseases of the mind and the body will be removed by the knowledge of the self. Immerse your brain that has been agitated and heated up by insanity in the cool waters of the self. The Acharya placed both his hand on Padmapada's head and blessed him. Like the cool rays of moonlight, Acharya's healing touch filled Padmapada's heart with deep serenity. Padmapada shone brightly like the sun immediately after an eclipse. He fell at Acharya's feet, shedding profuse tears of joy. Before long, Padmapada regained his health through the tender nursing care of his disciples and fellow ascetics, the treatment by expert local physicians, and above all, the presence of Acharya. This, in Kaladi, they had a meeting after this. King Sudanva, who was a great devotee of Acharya, he said, now I am going to plan a big Digvijaya. Wherever Acharya goes, with thousands of his disciples, I will arrange for the travel. It is not like the travel that they did all these days. Now it is like a real king moving from place to place and arranging for Acharya's darshan and teaching everywhere so that a great renaissance is possible in the land. So I will make all arrangements for that. But Acharya remained unruffled and cool like the moon of Sharat. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir-bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. Like that, to do that dharma prachara, the king took upper hand and started doing things. He himself took the responsibility and started, because so many negative forces are there. They should be dealt with. So he decided to move, make arrangement. So from Kaladi they started moving, a very large group of disciples, they started moving. And here in the Sopana 34, we have a discussion. Jnana is transcendental and dharma is the means to attain it. Motiveless action is termed dharma when it is performed as a dedication to the divine for the welfare of the world. Dharma is a way of life that brings about welfare in the world and is also conducive to spiritual life. So from Kaladi, Acharya passed by temple Halahaleshwara. So this, why this is written is, the dharma samudharana has to be done now. Dharma prachara has to be done. So Patanjali, however, divine qualities such as non-hatred, friendliness towards all, compassion, unselfishness and non-violence are eternal values that are universal and acceptable to all. Bhagavan Patanjali refers to them as Sarva Bhauma Mahavratam. Whatever religion a person may belong to, truthfulness, not hating anybody, friendliness towards all, non-violence, these are all universal. No religion can say, no, in our religion you need not be truthful. So these are called Sanatana values. So every dharma is actually Sanatana dharma only. So for the propagation of that, the presence of such mighty beings are needed. As selfishness increases, such values get corrupted in society. The presence of all renouncing mighty souls can release men from the scorpionic grip of selfishness. When you see a great being, naturally that force, otherwise, you have to just go and check in the AI. You will get all knowledge. You don't need a teacher. Anything you can ask, it will reply. It will even give counseling. People are talking to it for peace. It gives counseling to them. What is the use? Later on you will see you need the presence of a higher being. People did not talk to Bhagavan, the presence was enough. As Paul Brendan says about Bhagavan, the sage spoke, but it was not that important. His silence was more eloquent than his speech. The healing power of that silence, the peace, the presence, that was more eloquent, more influential. So, for the same reason, Grihastha Dharma, Grihastha Ashrama continues to be a fertile field for bondage and misery. That is generally we see everywhere. Grihastha Ashrama means a place where you can have rest. So the place a person rests, that is his ashrama. But Grihastha Ashrama is a restless ashrama. Grihasthaha Shramam. It is difficult. But you have a good household, you have a good family, very supporting surroundings, then there also spirituality can flourish. Many have lived like that, and many are there who are living like that. But generally, it is a field of bondage because attachment comes. Householders must have constant association with saints to awaken and maintain the fire of higher life. Now and then, very often you have satsanga, so that you will have courage to face the life. Acharya himself has sung Satsangatve Nissangatvam. When you have satsanga, you will be nissanga. It is only by contact with the detached that the attached can become free of attachment. It is to grant this good fortune that Paramahamsas constantly wander about with begging bowls. From Kaladi, Acharya passed by the temple of Halahaleshwara. Halahala is the name of Shiva. Halahaleshwara is the name of Shiva. Halahala is the poison which he has drunk. And that in Kerala now it is called Alavayan. Aluvai. In Tamil name it is Aluva is Tamil name. Alavayan means Alam Halam. Halahalam. Why? Means it is drunk. He has drunk that. So that place they travelled, and slowly going from one place to another, they visited several divine temples of Vishnu. And even in Guruvayur they say, it is Bhagavad-pada who did the puja paddhati, how the puja should be performed for Guruvayurappan. It was done by Bhagavad-pada. So even now, the same paddhati, the same process is being continued which Sankaracharya started. So there also he did a verse and worshipped the Lord. Very beautiful verse. Shadpadi, where he says, Avinayam apanaya Vishnu Damaya manaha Shamaya Vishaya Mrigatrishnam Bhutadayam vistaraya taraya samsara sagarataha. It's a very complete verse. Where he says, "Hey Bhagavan, O Vishnu, Avinayam apanaya Vishnu, remove my arrogance." Vinayam means humility. Avinayam means no humility. Arrogance. O Bhagavan, I cannot do that by myself. I surrender to you, O Lord. Remove my arrogance. Avinayam apanaya Vishnu. Damayamanaha. Purify my mind. Control my mind. Damayamanaha. Shamaya Vishaya Mrigatrishnam. The senses are running towards the sensory objects, thinking that I will get this, I want to see that, I want to taste this, I want to hear that. He calls it Mrigatrishna. It is like mirage. You run there and you find nothing is there. You thought, oh, I can go and enjoy that, consume that, and I will be happy. What happiness? You run there and look back, oh, I have to go to America. After going there, I want to come back, but how to come back? Not possible. So you go there and look back, here it is green. From here you look, there it is green. Thus you run all your life, running, odi, utkalanda jyotiye nadi. When you are in this end, you feel that is beautiful. When you are there, you feel this is beautiful. This is called Mrigatrishna. The deer will see the mirage and will run for water. That is what the example they give. We can also sometimes see in the road water. And you go there, no water. And water will be seen in distance. Or look back, you will see. So like that, life also we feel, if I go there, I will get joy. If I go there, I will get joy. Shamaya Vishaya Mrigatrishnam. Remove this delusion from my mind, O Lord. And next is, he says, Bhutadayam Vistaraya. This is the force with which all the Mahatmas are working. He says, let compassion arise for all the creatures. Bhutadayam Vistaraya. Let the heart blossom. Taraya samsara sagarataha. The last thing is, make me cross the samsara sagara. Let me go to the other shore. And next is very beautiful. He just worships the Lord. Divyadhuni-makarande. It's all beautiful poetry. Divyadhuni-makarande. Parimala paribhoga satchidanande. Shripadi padaravinde. Bhavabhayakheda chide vande. See, no poet excels Bhagavad-pada, because he is not simply a poet. He is a Jivan Mukta. Sati abhibhedapagamenath tavaham namamakinastvam samudro hitarangaha kvachana samudro natarangaha. This clarifies a moot point. Bhagavad-pada says, between you and me there is no difference. We are all one. But in the dualistic plane, he says, the wave belongs to the ocean, not the ocean to the wave. The wave belongs to the ocean. So too, as long as I am identifying with the wave, behind me is the ocean. As long as I think I am a person, there is a beautiful shloka by Hanuman. He tells Rama, which contains Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, Advaita, all philosophy. He says, Deha buddhyatu dasoham. When I consider myself as the body, I am your dasa. I am your servant. Jiva buddhya twadam shakaha. When I consider myself as a jiva, a soul, I am your amsha. Amshamshi is Vishtadvaita. Mamaivamsho jivaloke jivabhuta sanatanaha. This is very important for them. So I am a part of you. Atma buddhya tvamevaham. When I consider myself as the Atman, the self, I am you. Iti me nishitamatihi. Thus from there they started moving. And slowly they reached the temple which became a cause for Bhagavad-pada's birth. Very beautiful temple. Now it is called Trishur. Trishiva-perur. 3 important Shiva temples. And one of them is this Rishabhachaleshwara. Rishabhachala is that you will find it's like a hillock, around which the entire city is, like Arunachala. You go around, you will do pradakshina to Rishabhachaleshwara. And Rishabhachala is the small hillock in which that Ishvara is there, a very, very huge temple, very well taken care of, full of huge, huge trees around, very quiet. The grandeur of temple you have to feel by going there. So, that Rishabhachala only Shivaguru and Aryamba Devi went and prayed for Shankara's birth. So there they went. The temple was surrounded by a forest of wild animals. Before it was like that. Even recently, about 100 years back, it was like that. In the middle stood the hillock in the shape of a bull, Rishabha. Vidapakundranathan, that is the name in Tamil. Vidapakundra is Rishabhakundra and it became Vadakkanathan. No Vadak. Vadak means north. Nothing to do with the north. It is Rishabha. It is Vidapakundra. It became Vadakkanathan. So, seeing the temple at its center, Acharya was filled with intense devotion. One by one, the disciples offered flowers of shlokas at the feet of Umamaheshwara. Champeya gaurardha sharirakaye, karpura gaurardha sharirakaye, dhammillakaye cha jatadharaya, namah shivaya cha namah shivaya. Chanting this, Padmapada offered a verse. Janat kwanat kankananupuraya padabjarajat phaninupuraya. When Padmapada chanted like that, Sureshwara followed in the same meter. Hemangadaya bhujagangadaya namah shivaya cha namah shivaya. And Totakacharya followed. Ambodharashyamala kuntalaya tadit prabhat amrajatadharaya. Very beautiful verse. It's about Divine Mother and Shiva, both. First, he started the idea, Champeya Gaurardha Sharirakaye. She is white in color. It is like the Champeya Pushpa. Champaka Pushpa. It's like, what is the Champaka Pushpa color? Golden color. It's golden color, and Shiva is Karpura Gaurardha Sharirakaya. It is like Karpura. He is also white. Dhammillakaya cha Jatadharaya Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. And the third verse is Ambodhara Shyamala Kuntalai. Ambodhara is cloud. Like clouds in the sky, her hair, it is spread out. Tadit prabha tamra jatadharaya. Shiva's that jata is like Tadit Prabha. Tadit Prabha means like the lightning. Like lightning flashing in the sky, his jata is also left out. Tadit Prabha Tamra Jatadharaya Nirishwaraya Nikhileshwaraya. She is the Ishwari of all. So no Ishwari for her. And Nikhileshwara, he is Ishwara for her. So she is Nirishwaraya cha Nikhileshwaraya Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. Thus they worshipped in Rishabhachala. From there they left, they walked towards Kanyakumari and reached the Sindhurapura. Now the Tiruchendur Kumbhabhishekam happened. Because Sankaracharya started it, so Sankaracharya himself every year goes there. From Sringeri Mat or Kanchi Mat, they all Acharyas go there. So this time Sringeri Acharya went there. There Bhagavad-pada wrote the Subramanya Bhujanga Prayata-stotra. As Acharya came out of the temple, after worshipping Subramanya there, you have to see Subramanya there, very grand form. It is in the seashore, the temple is in the seashore, and there is a cave there. You can go and visit the temple. As Acharya came out of the temple, a young man afflicted with leprosy prostrated to him and prayed for relief from illness. Sometimes, you know, the Mahatmas, they are compassionate and tender, more tender than a flower. Sometimes they are hard-hearted, more than a diamond. Vajradabi katorani mriduni kusumadabi. So sometimes they become compassionate, sometimes they will not even look. That is according to his prarabdha, that's all. So this person came there, Bhagavad-pada said, you will be free of all miseries. And wrote the Bhujanga Prayata-stotram and blessed him. Mayuradhirudham Mahavakya Gudham Manohari Deham Mahachitta Geham Mahideva Devam Mahaveda Bhavam Mahadeva Balam Bhaje Lokapalam Mahambodhitire Mahapapachore Munindraanukule Sugandhakya Shaile Guhayam Vasantam Swabhasa Lasantam Janartim Harantam Shrayamo Guhamtam. Bhujanga Prayata-stotra is very well known. For many diseases it is like a medicine. Apasmara Kushta Kshayarsha Prameha Jwaronmada Gulmadi Roga Mahanta Pishachasya Sarve Bhavat Patra Bhudim Vilokya Kshanat Tarakare Dravante. When you go there, you will get the Patra Bhuti. They will put the bhasma in a leaf and give it to you. So the moment you use that, all these diseases will fly away. So that is what Bhagavad-pada says here. Not long after, the devotee was cured of all his disease. From there, walking along the banks of river Tamraparni, they arrived at Madurai, and thus they worshipped Meenakshi there. Shabda Brahmamayi Chara Charamayi Jyotirmayi Vangmayi Nityanandamayi Niranjanamayi Tattvamayi Chinmayi Tattvātītamayi Parātparamayi Māyāmayi Shrivayi Sarvaishwaryamayi Sadashivamayi Mam Pahi Meenambike. He worships Meenakshi as Mataha Purna Rasardra Sudha Rasardra Hridaye Mam Pahi Meenambike. Purna Sudha Rasardra Hridaya. The Divine Mother's heart is filled with Sudha Rasardra Hridaya. They spent few days in Madurai, and after that they started moving towards many land, and at last they reached Rameswaram. Raghuvira Padanyasa Pavitri Setave Ramachandrasya mokshamargaika hetave Sitaya manasambhojabhanave setave namaha. It is the place from where Rama built the Rama Setu, Dhanishkodi. From there to Lanka. Even now, underneath the water, the Setu is there. The bridge is there. And Bhagavad-pada says, it is not simply this bridge, it is Moksha Margaika Hetu. It is a bridge built by Rama, and each brick is his Nama. A bridge built by Rama, where each brick is his Nama. And what does it do? It gives liberation to the seeker. Raghuvira Padanyasa Pavitrikrita Pamsave. By the touch of his feet, it is all Pavitrikrita, holy. It became holy, pure, purified. And what is that Moksha Margaika Hetu? When a great being, when an avatara comes, whoever participates in that divine mission gets liberated. That is why we have heard all the monkeys came to serve. All of them were there to build the bridge. And what is the interesting story? That small squirrel. Even that squirrel came. It cannot even carry a small stone. So it will just take a dip in the ocean and roll in the sand, bring some sand and Kodanjify it. Put it there in the bridge. Like that, all these creatures, they all started helping Rama to build that Setu. And that Setu, thus, when great Mahatmas, they come, so many join them in that mission. And in that mission, so many are liberated, and in that process, whoever is cooperating, whoever is serving, they all get liberated. They find an energy stream into which you offer yourself, your ego is burnt. An energy stream, it is the Ganga. An energy stream is there where you offer your ego is burnt. Whatever, because otherwise we will not find a center where you can offer the selfishness. World we are working, but that is for our own good. For the good of all. Bahujana hitaya, bahujana sukhaya. It is not that easy. You can simply say. So that kind of expansion of the heart, feeling for Loka sangraham evapi sampashyan kartum arhasi. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Loka sangraham. For the sake of the world, for the sake of which world? For the Advaiti, no world. At the compassion comes. So when that compassion comes, that compassion, it is the greatest spiritual tonic. It not only heals the person, it heals everyone around. You see the manifesting power of selflessness, egolessness. So there, that is what we see in Ramayana. What did these monkeys they gain? They all joined in that great work. So like that, with Bhagavad-pada also so many are there. Rameswaram is very, very important in Ramavatara, because Rama himself did the Pratishtha of Ramanatha Swami there. Ramalingam. It is Ramalingam. And nearby is the Tirupulani Kshetra, Darbashayanam, the place where Rama spread the darba grass and was fasting, so that the Samudra, the ocean will give way, invoking the king of ocean, waters. That is the Tirupulani Kshetram. Asindhu prakopaihi, avandhya pratapaihi, abandhu prayanaihi, amandasmitaddehi, adanda pravasaihi, akhanda prabodhaihi, arama vidheihi, alam devaternaha. There this verse was written, Asindhu prakopam. Suddenly Rama became angry because the god of ocean, he didn't manifest. And here the Ishwaratva came. Ramavatara very rarely becomes Ishvara. He is human being. Not like Krishna Avatara, every now and then manifest. No. So Ramavatara, he behaves like an ordinary powerless human being. But rare occasions, sometimes due to compassion, that godhood comes. With Jatayu, when that bird served him so much, suddenly compassion arose. He said, Gridra Raja Mahasatva Samskritashamaya Vraja. He said, I order you. Yagati Sarvabhu Yagatihi Yaknyashilanam Ahitagnesha Yagatihi Aparavattinam Yacha Yacha Bhumi Pradayinam. Whatever that higher state, those who have done yaga, yajna, tapasya, I bestow that on you, go, he said. And here the anger arose when the ocean did not give way. He said, Chapamanaya Saumitre. He said, Oh Lakshmana, bring me my bow. I will just burn the way. Padbhyam yantu plavangamaha. Let the monkeys walk across. Then only the king of gods, he came, king of ocean, he came, Samudra Raja came, and he said, the way, he gave the method to build the bridge. So that is the story. So, Rameshwara, after that, Acharya Bhagavad-pada came and did the worship, and many Mahatmas came there, and Swami Vivekananda also alighted there after his Digvijaya, he came there. And when his ship arrived there, the king of Ramanacharanatirtha district, he just went there and kneeled down. Kneeling down, he said, Swami, put your feet on my head. Bhaskara Setupati, that was his name. Then Swami Vivekananda said, no. The Shastras say the head of the king himself is should be considered as an amsha of God. He didn't do that. But as he kneeled down, that place now is called Kundhal. It is called Kundhal, the place where that happened. So that reminds the culture, the heritage. A king kneeling down and asking a sannyasi to put his feet on his head. After that, they pulled him in a cart, kept him in a cart, and so that all that remembrance, the place gives us that inspiring, that which can give you goosebumps. Such incidents have happened there. So there, Acharya worshipped Ramanatha Swami with a verse. Rameswaram Ramakrita Pratishtham Kameshwari Bhushita Vamabhagam Mahendra Nilojjvalamutkireetam Bhameshwaram Tvam Iha Pujayami. Thus he worshipped Ramanatha Swami. From there, they started moving Chidambaram is the Akasha Linga, Kripa Samudram, Sumukham Trinetram, Jatadharam Parvati Vamabhagam, Sadashivam Rudram Anantarupam, Chidambaresham Hridibhavayami. Kanchipuram is the earth linga. And Trishirapuram, Tiruchirappalli, Jambukeshwara is the water linga. And Arunachalam, of course, here it is the Agni Linga Kshetra. Kalahasti is Vayu Linga Kshetra. Chidambaram is Akasha Lingam. Either. So in Chidambaram, after worshipping the Lord, it is the place where Patanjali worshipped the Lord. That Patanjali has done a verse on Nataraja, very beautiful. Sadanjita mudanjita nigunchita padam jhala jalanjalita manjukatakam Patanjali Driganjanam Ananjanam Achanjala Padam Janana Bhanjanakaram Kadambarujimam Baravasam Paramamambuda Kadambaka Vidambaka Galam Chidambudamanim Buddha Hridambujaravim Parachidambaranatam Hridibhaja Haram Tripura Bhanjanam Anantakrita Kankanam Akhandadayamantarahitam Virinji Sura Samhati Purandara Vichintita Padam Taruna Chandra Bakutam Param Pada Vikhandita Yamam Bhasita Mandita Tanum Madana Vanchana Param Chirantana Mamum Pranava Sanchita Nidhim Parachidambara Natam Hridi Bhaja. They worshipped the Lord in Chidambaram. From there they went to Madhyarjuna Kshetram. It's a very important place. Near Kumbagonam. Last year I went there for worship as Kanchi Swami Vijayendra Saraswati Swamigal told me to go there and do some function was happening for that. Actually that is in remembrance of what we are going to narrate. For that incident, Kanchi Sankaracharya Vijayendra Saraswati Swamigal, by his obeying his words, I went there and did an archana in the mud. So that incident we are going to see now. This Madhyarjuna Kshetram is a very holy temple, as it is situated between Sputarjuna and Mallikarjuna. Mallikarjuna we saw, Sri Shailam. This is called Madhyarjuna. Madhya means the middle. Thiru Idai Marudur. This is an ancient temple where, as per the Puranas, many devotees have been physically absorbed into the Shiva. The latest is what we know about Sridhara Ayyaval. The story goes he just disappeared inside the temple. So, that is very risky, no? If you go to temple, sometimes somebody goes to do puja. Recently, about a few years back, 20 years back or 25 years back, there was suddenly one morning one incident. Everybody knows that Ganapati is drinking milk. Not one Ganapati, everywhere. In whole India, one day it was a revolution that people were telling that Ganapati is drinking milk. Like that, if you make some Nivedya, Prasada, and go and take it to Arunachaleshwara temple, if Arunachaleshwara eats that Nivedya, you will be happy. The priest, Pujari, he takes the Prasadam. If Arunachaleshwara eats that Modaka, it is good. But if he eats the Pujari, the priest also, if he swallows, it is difficult. That is the real blessing. No? He has to swallow you. So, here Shiva himself acts as the Supreme Guru. The two Mahavidyas, Kali and Tara, and other Vidyas like Shodashi and Bhuvaneshwari worship Lord Madhyarjuna. Acharya worshipped the Lord with the mystic rituals of Jnanopachara. The sacred mantra Panchakshara Namah Shivaya makes the mind of the devotee single-pointed and bestows the vision of Shiva. A subtle form of Panchakshara has always been used in the Shaivite tradition of knowledge. This divine mantra known as Sukshma Panchakshari was experienced as the seed of knowledge. Bhagavan has bestowed that Sukshma Panchakshari to some of his disciples, not many, some of his. Bhagavan himself said, chant this, even to Muruganar. Muruganar says in Ramanacharana Bodham about this. In 1 or 2 verses he speaks about it. So, both these Veda mantras are extolled in the Vedas. Using the same Jnana Bija mantra, Bhagavad-pada did an archana. Shivaya Chidrubadharaya Shambhave Bhavaya Nityapta Dhanaya Mrityave Mridaya Kalyanakaraya Shuline Namo Namaste Stu Punar Namaste. In the town of Madhyarjuna, there were many Brahmins who adhered to the Karma Kanda portion of the Vedas. Several others followed the path of Upasana and was also focused on the Advaita principle. One afternoon, they all assembled before Acharya for his darshana and had his darshana. Then Acharya gave them the Upadesha. Generally, Acharya asked people to worship their Ishta Devata like Shiva or Vishnu. We call it Panchayatana. All good noble deities like Shiva, Vishnu, Devi, Ganapati, Surya, Subramanya, etc. It is all that Shanmata. Any deity you worship, let your mind be concentrated. Let your mind be purified. Then you will be deserving for the knowledge. You will gain sufficient purity of mind for attaining the higher knowledge. So he blessed them with all that Upadesha, and some very important incidents happened there in Tiruvannamarudur. Very, very magical incidents that we will see tomorrow. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.